brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in a sky more blue.
Good morning. Welcome to Right Thinking with Steve Copeland. I'm your host, Steve Copeland, and thank you for tuning in. Let's have a great day.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm very, very excited this morning for a number of reasons. One is that I woke up. Another one is that it's beautiful outside. Another one is that I've got a really, really good routine that I'm falling into. At 8 o'clock, I listen to Jeff's show, Success and Intentional Lifestyle, and my life's getting a little easier because I'm falling into being a follow-up to what Jeff is starting off. For any of you that haven't started to tune in yet to Jeff Heiser's show at 8 o'clock on Monday and Tuesday mornings, I encourage you to start doing it. What my show is, it's an ongoing conversation. And this morning as I was praying and getting ready for my show with my wife, I started thinking. Last week when I interviewed Dave Richards, and if you haven't heard the interview with Dave Richards, please listen to it. Some stuff came out in that interview that when I got into the interview, I didn't really know that's the direction it was going to go, but it turned out to be just very, very important to me. And I'll come back to that in a moment, but what I want to tell you is that my show, Right Thinking with Steve Copeland, its purpose is to be there for people that are experiencing hardship and people that want to be there to help those people. And as I said a moment ago, it's an ongoing conversation because sadly enough, there are no quick answers. There's some immediate things that we can do that will start all of the changes that we need to make our lives better. But it's a process. Sometimes it takes a long time, but just like Jeff says, you have to take that first step. And nobody can do it but you. Now, what came out of the show last week with Dave, as Dave talked about his life and a lot of his motivation for wanting to help other people and things of that nature, I think that three things came out of the show that is the whole key to what the theme of that show was. One, there are plenty of people in life out there that want to help people. There are people out there that are there to help you. They're there. Two, when somebody is going to help you, when you're in a position where you need help, Dave made a comment. People aren't going to help you. They might want to, but they might not be able to, or they won't be able to, unless you are trying. You have to try if you're going to get helped by other people. If you want somebody to help you and like, hey, can you get me straight? Can you help me do it? But you're not making the effort, then the help that they're wanting to give you isn't going to take place. And the third point, if you've got to where there's people that are going to help you, they're working with you, you're trying, you're making the effort, don't let them down. Keep trying. Keep moving forward. When you get discouraged because it's not changing for you fast enough, they're smiling because you're trying. Don't give up. Now that goes into all the themes that we talk about. Right Thinking Foundation's main theme is don't quit, plan ahead, it will get better. All of the motivational speakers that are out there that are basically caring about other people, trying to help other people, we're all saying the same thing, but each one of us has perhaps a little specialty, a little niche that we gravitate to that's our thing that separates us from the next guy. And what I want to say, and I say it almost every time, I have this strong desire to give people tangible tools, something that they can start doing, that they will start to see some results. Jeff talked about it today. Effort in. You got to put effort in to get effort out, or to get an outcome rather. But if you take that first little step and you make some progress and you start to see something moving in the right direction, success breeds success. It'll keep going. So I want to extend an invitation today. Last night I was talking about today's show with my dad. My dad is 93 and a half years old, and I'm going to talk a little bit about him today, so I'm preparing him to sit down and relax as I start talking a little bit to you, Dad. He said to me when I asked him about last week's show, he liked it, which makes me feel good, but he said, make sure I invite people to contact me, to let them know that I'm available. And I try to do that, but I'm going to make a special invitation today. Right Thinking Foundation, Right Thinking with Steve Copeland, has a website, rightthink.org, RIGHTTHINK.org. And what I'm trying to do in this ongoing conversation is to talk about things that get people moving in the right direction, to where they want to move forward, where they realize something that I'm saying is true, it applies to them, and that they want to go further with it, that they're going to let me be there. So here's what I would like you to do. Right Thinking with Steve Copeland is here for you. I want to be here to help go through life with you. I want to make friends, and I just am offering myself to you. And the best way that I think we can work together is, if you're listening to the show, go to the website and register as a member, and then you can send me a message, and I'll relate to you. I'll get back to you. It's kind of like emailing back and forth, and we can get to know each other, and I can perhaps involve myself in what you're doing, and maybe we can put our heads together and figure out something that we can do together that'll make it better. So please reach out to me, and I'll be there. That's a Four Top song. Reach out to me. Yeah. Anyway, here's the thing. What I want to do right now is I want to get into today's theme. Today's theme is positive influences in my life, and I want to give some pointers in how to surround yourself with the right people. So what I'd like to start with before I go any further is I've got a friend, and this is getting to be a regular thing, my racquetball buddy, Gary at the Y. He's a regular listener, and I'm picking up a lot of listeners. I went international. I had a person contact me through the website from Malta. I appreciate that. I've hit the West Coast. I'm down in Texas, and so thank you for listening. So what Gary said to me, as we discussed last week's show, was, he said, Steve, you're not as good as you think you are. And then he said, you're not as bad as you worry about. And then he said, all that you are is from the grace of God. Well, I'm just going to stop for about 3 seconds here and let that absorb. Yeah, that's so beautiful. Thank you, Gary, for giving me that. Okay. One of the things that I want to share with you is that I've been searching for a long time. I mean, really searching to find myself. And so let me ask you a question. Is anybody out there listening who's like me? You've been searching. Just, it seems like the years go by, but you can't quite put your finger on the answer. You're not quite getting out of that chair yet to move on yet. Well, don't worry. It's going to come. it's going to come, and one of the best things that you can do is to accept that you cannot do it alone. I was in Powhatan prison about 4.5 years ago. I had 35 men in a class, and I was trying to connect with them and get to know them. And I started just talking, saying, hey, you know, if you're out there just trying to get what you want and take what you want and satisfy yourself, that's not going to last for very long, because that's not going to be a lot of people that are going to be there for you if you're just trying to think out for numero uno, just yourself. And then this was not planned. It was a spontaneous thing. All of a sudden, the words to a song that we've all heard some lyrics to over the years by the Youngbloods, Get Together. Come on, people. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. And that just came out. And I said, anybody ever heard that before? The guy raised his hand and said, yeah, is that the Beatles? I said, no, I don't think it's the Beatles. And then another guy said, Sly and the Family Stone? I said, I don't know. I don't think so. So I Googled it, and it was the Youngbloods from 1964. But it basically is the whole theme that I'm talking here, is that you can't just be trying to do it by yourself to get what you need. You've got to be involved with other people. One of my favorite expressions that I've been using for a long time is, and I did it that day. That's where I first said it. Hey, we're all in the same boat. We're all living on the same planet. We need each other. We're all on Team Earth. And I said, but it's of biblical proportions now. Not only are we all in the same boat, we're all in the same ark. The world is a whole lot different than when I was in high school and having a good time and those kind of years. It's a lot different now. So I want to give you a little list here of some of the positive influences in my life. And what I want to encourage you as you listen to me today is remember this. If you're down, in trouble, wow, I was thinking about the song, winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you need to, you got a friend, all you need to do is call. You got a friend, I'll be there. Let's just say this. If you're really down and all the advice that Jeff and everybody else is trying to give you isn't registering because your situation is so low, you're homeless, you're sleeping on a bench, whatever the thing is, hey, if you're not at that low, low place like that, then you should count your blessings and remember, you're already on the right track and you can make it so much better. We can always make it better. Remember this, a lot of people that need to change, they don't even know it. If you already know that you need to change, then you're halfway there. So what I want you to understand is this. If you're really at a low spot, you need the help from others to help pick you up. And they are there. They are there for you. Dave talked about it last week. I'm going to review it one more time. They're there. You got to try, and then don't let them down. So you don't want to have to feel like you're just taken from somebody. Put yourself in a position where you're not too proud. Humble yourself. Receive from those that want to help you, and then pass it on to someone else. When you get on your feet, you do it for someone else. I want to tell you a couple of my influences, and this list, I'm going to come back to this list over many of my shows, and I'm going to pick out one or two and tell you a little story. But, well, my mother. I think my mother is probably, she's the number one on my list. Gosh, she taught me how to love. My mother was the original, never met a stranger, give them a shirt off your back. And so I just want to thank Mom for that. And this next one is very interesting. I had a high school English teacher my senior year named Miss Griffin.